Hello and welcome to the anatomy tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at the meetings tab. So when you click on the meetings tab, then this is where you'll see your calendar for all the different events and functions that the church may be hosting. If you click on the side menu, you'll see here add meeting. This is where you'll be able to add your different meetings. Before we add this meeting, I just want to go through the different drop downs and fields that you will need to populate and what they mean when you are adding a meeting on Anatomy. So currently you will see it has a type of meeting, so meaning what type of meeting will this be, a weekend service or staff meeting, whatever the case may be. You'll be able to add those different types of meetings, and then the status of the meeting in terms of where is it at. Is it already a confirmed meeting or is it still planning and process, like a tentative? And then if the church has multiple campuses available, then you'll be able to select where this meeting is being hosted, in which campus it will be happening in. And then if it's for rostering, then you can select the yes, whereby this meeting will actually reflect under the rostering tab, and you can actually populate people who will be serving in this meeting under the roster tab once you've selected that. And then you also have your start date and end date and the venue. And then if based on capacity, you've got a maximum number of people that you are hosting, then you can add in your maximum attendees that you'll be having. And then if it's applicable, you can add the gender that's allowed and the age restrictions as applicable. So also you have something called send a reminder. So basically, if you would like to send reminders to the people that will be added as attendees in this meeting, then you can actually add it and decide whether you want to send them an email or an SMS, and when would you like that reminder to go out. So first, let's start by going through our meeting types so we can actually see what that looks like. So then when you select on meeting types, this is where you add your different types of meetings as we saw on the drop down earlier. And then here, if we do not have the one that the church is looking for, you can create one for yourself. You just click on add new meeting type, and then you add in the information that you would like to add. And then this is just for internal purposes. You can just abbreviate the word that you've just added on the type of meeting that you're adding. And then the rating set, this is basically if there's a loosely explained terminology, if like you are having a measuring scale or a way to see if whether you're achieving the objectives and the things that you as a church have set in place to actually achieve or acquire in the certain meetings that you have through questionnaires or statements or any other information like that, then you can choose the rating set here, the one that's applicable to you. So we've got the Sunday meetings one, we've got the small group ratings. Those are the ones you'll find with your default, and the campus one on your when you sign up with Anatomy. And then where you actually find those rating sets is under admin. So you will go to your admin, and then for simplicity, just type in the rating set. Then you'll find this is where it appears, and then you will see the different drop downs of what you have on the Sunday meetings. And if you would like, and let's say you find these ones are quite applicable but you want to add on to them, then you can add a new rating type, and then you can come and add the type that you are wanting to add in there. And then once you're happy, you click on this tick there to save, and then you can add as many as you would like have in there. But if you find that the ones that you are looking to use, the ones that the church is currently maybe using for your meetings and for whatever you may be hosting, then you can actually create one for yourselves. Then you can just add it in there, and then you just add, and then you will create a new questionnaire in terms of the new one, which will be blank. So this is what it would look like, and then you can add the different rating questions in there as you see fit, and then you can just save the information as you need it. So this will be the one that is added in for testing, written extremely incorrectly, but this is just for example purposes. And then the ones that you will see are available will be there, and then you can decide which one you would like to add. So going back to our meetings and our meeting types, so where we're creating our example, that's where you have your rating set. Then you can decide for Sunday meetings or for the ones that you may have created. And then we also have something called meeting categories. So in terms of the meetings that you as a church may be hosting in general, then if you want to actually filter and to find the specific meeting that you are looking for, or you're wanting this meeting to fall under, then you can add the one that you would like, or you can actually select from the drop down that we have here. So also for the meeting categories, if you would like to add that setup with the names and the categories that you will have, you can go to the admin tab again, and then you can just select your categories. Meeting categories will show up there, and then you can add new and add the one that you'll be using, and then you click on the tick there. That is where you'll be able to save the information. So that is how your meeting types, you'll be able to add them here, the ratings and the category. And then Sunday service, is this meeting for a Sunday service? Then you can tick on yes or no. And then when you're adding a new one, so you will need to leave it here as active, and then you can kindly select the color that you would like it to be. Then you can select your color. And then for confidential, yes or no, what this means is that only the people that attend this meeting will have access to the details of this meeting. And then show on calendar is basically, would you like everyone to be able to see this meeting, even though they're not attendees in this meeting per se? Then that's what that will mean. So once you've finished setting it up and adding the information, then you click on that submit there, and then it will actually appear on the drop down after you've added it in. And then we also have the meeting roles. So the meeting roles is when you are adding your meeting and you are adding your attendees in there. And if you've got specific roles for the attendees that are going to be added into this meeting, then you can add those different roles in here. So basically these roles reflect when they get the reminder, so they'll be made aware that this is what ministry they'll be serving in, or this is in what capacity that they'll be serving in. So then you can add the different information in there. If there's one that is not existing for you, you can just add the one that is applicable for you as a church. And then is it a leader role, yes or no? And then again, you can click on the save. And then so once you are adding your meeting, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add our meeting. So let's add a workshop for volunteers. So now we're adding our meeting. It's a workshop for volunteers. And then I'm going to put it under community as a type of meeting. And then it's a confirmed meeting. It's definitely happening. And then which campus is it going to be in? Let's say Rivonia. Is it for rostering? So if I say this meeting is for rostering, meaning that I would like it to appear on the roster, and then I'm going to roster people to serve in the different ministries or capacities on that day. So then you can have it as yes, or you can have it as no. And then show on portal, meaning would you like this meeting to be viewed, to be able to be visible on the mobile app? Yes, if you would like that to be the case. Is it an all-day event? Yes or no. A popular event? Yes or no. And then sending a reminder, would you like the attendees, the people that you're going to add onto this meeting, to be able to get a reminder either by email or SMS, and then you will select the time frame of when, so that they will get a reminder that this meeting is happening, or this event or function is going to be taking place, and what role they're going to be serving or functioning in on that event itself. Then you can come and add your dates in terms of when is this happening. So in this case, let's add the 18th at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then we're going to be finishing at 1 o'clock that same day. And then it's going to be in Sandton. There's no maximum number, so both genders are required. Then you can add your brief description for why you are having the workshop for volunteers, testing. And then once I'm done, then you can click on save. So now my meeting is saved, and this meeting will appear on the calendar when I go to the calendar now. So the other thing you will see is you've got the other tabs that are appearing here. So you can go into your notes if you want to add additional notes to this meeting. And then this is where you're going to be able to add your attendees to this meeting. So there are two ways to do this. So you can either add the attendees right here. So in this case, I'm just going to select adding right here, and then you'll see it says how are they attending, what role, and then I can select to say, okay, I'd like you to come and be at the info table. So then this person is going to be coming, and then they're going to be at the info table. So then when you send out the reminder, when they get the reminder goes out, this one that has been set in place, when it goes out, then this person will get a reminder and saying that this is the capacity and the role that you'll be required to serve in on that day. That's where you've been placed. And then you can add as many roles and many records as you need. And then once you added them in there, you can select what capacity that they'll be coming. So if this meeting has been, let's say, for courses, then you can select it whether they've paid for the course or the course was actually sponsored, and actually did they check in, did they come, confirmed, and that kind of thing. And then you can add that information. If you also want to send communication to the people here, so you can send them email or SMS. So if you want to send an email, it will show you sending an email to 2 recipients, and then you can two options again, you can either put in your email information that you are adding in here, you can add the information right there, picture, you can add a link, you can add the information, tags in terms of your greeting, whatever the case may be, and then you can schedule the meeting to when you would like it to go out. You can schedule your email or the SMS you'll be sending. And then another thing is you can select the template that's already existing. So if you've already created an email template for this, to say, okay, this is the email that I've created prior to this meeting being created, so that I can send this out, and then you can just have it out, and then you can send it out yourself. And if you also want to send a test, you can initially send a test to see what it looks like before you actually send it out to all your volunteers that you have added onto this meeting. So this applies to both SMS and to email. Then the same thing, you'll be able to select your template and then to put in the template that is in there for you to choose from. And also you can schedule it for the dates that you want it to go out. So this applies to both SMS and email, and then you will see there's pricing, there's counts. So the counts will work for if it's for Sunday service, and one way that churches have used the tracking attendance is by overall estimation or overall count, where you can actually put in the overall amount to say, okay, these are the guys that came, and these are the first timers that we had in the church. And if you have any other information that you would like to add, you can definitely add it in here and say, okay, how many salvations did we have that Sunday morning? What other information we want to add? Then you can add all those kind of information in there. And then you also have your resources. This is the resources, it's linked to this resource tab here. So whereby you can actually come and add the different resources that will be used or utilized on that Sunday morning. So then you can come and say, hey, actually, we want to be using the main auditorium or the sound desk or whatever the case may be. And then you can just add it in there. If there's any notes that you would like to be adding, then you can add your file. You can upload those documents in here. And then we've got the ratings. So the ratings similar to what we looked, it's the one that we looked at on the admin tab. So this is the one for Sunday service meetings. This is what it looks like. You can add the questions. You can change the information as you see fit or required for your church. And then if this meeting is recurring or it happens quite often, then you can set it up as yes, and then you can select when does it occur in the week, and when is it going to end, if that is applicable as well. And then we also have the links tab. So basically, if you're going to be using the check-in and people to check out, so you can also use the QR code, whereby people can scan this from the mobile phone, the Anatomy app there, and then they can just check in using that. on the day for that meeting. And then once they do that, it will reflect on those attendees that they've actually checked in when they do scan the QR code to check in on the day. So it will change their status that way. And then you'll see here there's also tabs that are reflecting whereby you can print this list. So you can print a list of all your attendees and in what role or capacity they'll be coming for that event. So you can do this prior, so you can do that either as a printout or as a Excel. You can have it in there. And then you can remove the people you've added in there. If you added someone accidentally, you can actually have them removed. And then you see here there's an invite. So basically, if you would like to invite everybody this way and then have them confirm if whether they will be coming, then you can just select everybody like this and then just click on invites. And then what this does is it sends an invite to everybody that is on this, and then they will get a notification requesting them to either confirm that they'll be attending, or they can actually decline it, and then it will change their status here as well. So that's another way of actually having it done. And then you can also come to change the status for selected users if you would like to change their status to say, okay, this is what it is. And in this case, it's if you are selecting multiple users, you can actually come here and select if you've got like a few users in there and you want to change their status, you can. And then the roles, yes, we've spoke about that. And then adding to a meeting, so you can add these people to another meeting that may be occurring that you would like them to attend. So what we found is if there are workshops happening and you've got another session that will be taking place and you want this person to actually go and attend that session that is going to be happening. So the setup team is going to be happening, a workshop for leaders is going to be happening, and I think you guys will do well, and then you can actually add them in there as attendees, and then they can be added into that meeting. So now they're added into that other session that's already happening, and then you've got the information in there. Okay, so if there's any other information that you would like to add, then to the selected roles that you have there, then you can add that information in there as well. So that's basically the meeting that we've just added, and then you'll see the meeting has got all the information you've got. They're going to get a reminder by SMS, and then we can select 7 days prior, and then I'm going to save this meeting, so this meeting has been saved, and then I can go to my calendar, and then we'll be able to see. So on the 18th, the sound desk has been booked out for this meeting, the workshop for volunteers, and then this is the meeting we've just added into the system here. So now we've got this meeting existing here, and then you'll see on the side menu here that we've got, you can actually filter and see the dates. And there's something called roster status, where you'll see the green, the red, and the gray. And when you go into your meeting search, basically you will come and you will check in, put in the dates for the meetings that you're looking for, and then you'll be able to pull a search for them to see, okay, now I've got red and I've got green and I've got gray, and then Anatomy actually clarifies what those colors mean for you. And if you want to be specific and you're looking for certain meetings, then you can just search over here, and then it will just filter to just those meetings that you've got. So let's say you've created a meeting and you've made it recurring, and now it's got plenty of days, and that was not the intention. Then you can come and select all those meetings here, and then you can just cancel them, and then it will just ask you if you're sure, and then you can just click on OK, and then that will cancel all those meetings that you've had. And if you want to search of all the meetings that you've had and that are happening in that week, you'll be able to see, and meetings that are happening today, you'll also be able to see them. And it also gives you an idea to see attendees of the number of records that have been added onto there. So then you can have an easy access to your calendar and to the information that you've added onto Anatomy. So now let's look at it from if you were going to be linking this meeting to a course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another meeting, and this one is going to be for a course. And then I'm going to select under the type of meeting for a course, I'm going to confirm it. And then the campus, I'm going to use Rivonia. And then I'm not going to have it for rostering. And then this is the meeting that I'm going to be hosting. I wanted to show in the portal, and then I'm going to have my reminder to be set on there that it's going to be via email in 7 days. So then I'll have my start time when the meeting is actually happening. So I'll put it in as the 13th. And then what time it will be 8 o'clock. So we'll set it for 8 o'clock. And then we'll also have what time it will be ending, which we'll say at 2 o'clock for this whole course. And then it's happening in Sandton. I'm not going to have any specifics when it comes to the gender. So both males and females will be welcome to attend. So then I'm just going to save that meeting in there so that the meeting is in there. So what you will see happen is it will say link to a course. So the first thing that you will do is you can go to your courses, and then you can add a course that will be linked to this meeting. So in this case, this is the details that you'll be adding. In this case, I have created one already. So you've got your course that is existing. So this is the course that I'm looking at. And then I've got the dates that have been added in. So to add your dates, you'll add them in here. So I've added my dates in there for all the dates that we have. If there are any prerequisites before someone can actually do this course, you can add those prerequisites of courses that the person will have to have attended. And then what the system does to check if whether someone has actually attended those courses prior to actually being able to be added to this course is that they will need to have it on their profile that they attended this course, and then they've completed it, and then that way you'll be able to add them to this course. If that is not the case, they will not be able to actually attend this course because the prerequisite is that you have done these 3 courses before you can be added to the next one. And then you can add your pricing. So then this is where you add your pricing. I can add member, I can add the standard guest, and what is the fee for that. So then you can have the pricing added in there, and then this is the rest of the information. So the attendees can also be added in here if you would like. So what this does is it adds the attendees for each and every time that this course is happening. So on the 22nd, you can add the attendees for that date, and then also with the 15th and all the other dates that you may be having this course, all the dates, they will have their own separate check-in or checked-in session for the attendees that came, because sometimes you find if you have just one date then and everybody's included, it's harder to see if whether people have completed and have attended all the dates for that course. So then that will be that course, and then once you've actually added the course in and people are in there, it's linked to this meeting. So then you've got your attendees that are in this meeting linked to that course. So then the people then will be able to actually before me getting ahead of myself, so going to that course itself, then you'll see when you create a course, Anatomy it generates a registration link for you. So when you click on that registration link, then it opens up this tab. So then you'll see this is the tab. You will add your own image there that you have for the course, and then you can actually come and find the information. And then when I click on it and I add my information, then it takes me to this page where I can actually register and pay the fee for that. And then I can select which date I am actually attending, and then I can just register for that event and quantity of how many tickets that I'm purchasing. So that is how a meeting is linked to the course. And then the same, we're going to look at the conferences, and then also with the rostering. So if you've selected your meeting and you wanted it to be for rostering, so with the church workshop that was created and the workshop. So if you select on rostering and you say yes, so workshop for leaders, now I'm changing it to it's for rostering. So then I'll come and I'll save it there, so you'll see it saved, and then I can go into my roster, and then I want to see it. So there it is. So now what I can do is I can actually roster people to serve in this meeting, and this is the roster functions or roles that they'll be serving in. So that's how the meetings and the courses works. And then we will look at the conferences, which is similar to how the courses works, but it's also in its own way. I will send you the link for the conferences. Thank you so much for listening.